Is being a Disney princess really the magical experience that people want you to believe? Let's talk about it today on That Park Plays Bash. We have got a character actor from Walt Disney World who has told all to the Huffington Post. Now, I don't know how this happened because usually these people sign an ironclad NDA. They cannot talk about this stuff when they leave the company.
Sure.
How this person did it, I don't know, but says, I worked as a character actor at Disney World. My name is Ron Bradley. No, here's what you don't see happening behind the scenes. Okay. From the HuffPost. It's my first day of training at Disney World Orlando, and I'm learning how to be Pooh. A big yellow bear who's constantly reminded by guests that he's not wearing pants. I've almost perfected the walk, but these boxy feet are giving me shin splints. Then some podcaster, YouTuber trips me, and all of a sudden I'm flat on my back, and everyone's like, Jay, why did you do that? And I'm like, why did you do that, Jay? No, I'm kidding. That's not what they're saying here. So soon I've successfully mastered talking, signing, and acting like every character in my height range. If I can prove myself as a fur performer, they'll upgrade me to a face character, transitioning me from cartoon animal costumes to talking human icons. I have my fingers crossed because it's autumn, and despite the cool breeze coming in through my mouth, sticky sweat is pouring out everywhere else. So it's so hot that the pregnant Donald Duck standing across from me just passed out, and I'm not far behind. Welcome to the most magical place on earth. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh, yes.
It'll be a fun one to go through. Hold on. Though I grew up on Disney films, I never imagined myself working for the mouse. When I was 7, my grandmother made me chop my hair into a bowl cut before she would take me to Disney World. I spent the entire day crying, and now I can't clearly recall a single thing that happened while we were there. When I was 13, my grandparents enrolled me in vocal lessons with a woman I would later consider a second mother. During our 12 years together, her daughter became a professional singer and started working at Disney as a stage performer before moving on to Broadway and producing her own albums. When it was suggested that I follow in her footsteps, I leapt at the opportunity to move away from home. A few weeks after my 20th birthday, I sat in an audition hall alongside hundreds of other hopefuls. Ron Bradley, I said to myself, now's your big break. Now, I was so nervous that I bombed my performance, but I was encouraged to apply as a face character and to return for stage roles when I was ready. I came back eager for a second chance and spent the day getting measured, learning parade dances, showcasing my miming abilities, and delivering the film lines of characters I resembled. While my dance skills weren't remarkable, I did land the roles of Belle from Beauty and the Beast and Fawn, a fairy from the beloved Tinkerbell franchise, thereby securing myself a ticket to unforgettable experiences. I quickly discover that at Disney World, pixie dust is real, except some Tinkerbells take it up the nose instead of sprinkling it on little kids. And one of the guys who plays Prince Charming is rumored to be on a quest to sleep with a girl from every continent. This is a great article you gave us here, bro. Thanks to Epcot, thanks to Epcot, he's more than halfway there. I mean, I don't know who he's going to get for Antarctica. Maybe go to SeaWorld and try to meet a penguin, but...
Oh, goodness gracious.
I doubt Walt ever envisioned his creation turning into a buffet for brash men. Meanwhile, the princess dressing room is abuzz with a rumor that a guy who plays one of the park's most infamous pirates is Pro, what are you doing, man? Like, why did you... is giving out, I don't even know, without consent on his day off. I also heard that an employee got fired for getting caught in the bathroom with Mickey's glove. I shudder to think of how many thousands of germ-ridden hands touched it before it got up close and personal with her Minnie Mouse. Oh, no.
Wow. That is quite the description there.
During my first few months working at Disney, I thrive on fast food meals, a fake celebrity status, and late night outings. I'm staying in a bougie townhouse just outside of Celebration, Florida, a suburb of Orlando that was originally created by the Walt Disney Company, with 2 other employees for $350 a month each. I move through several parks each week, so the break rooms are always filled with new faces. For now, my closest friends are the photographers and cast assistants who accompany me. When winter arrives, I finally step into the role of a face character. I discover how to apply fake lashes, glitter, and custom wigs. I'm told that my head is 2 inches smaller than average and that I need mellow yellow to cover my hickey, and that tanning is no longer an option. The Cinderella beside me is reprimanded for gaining weight, and Ariel is with management to discuss aging out. Oh, good Lord. On my first day as Belle, I feel like a yellow cake topper trapped in a 40-pound ball gown that, despite being laundered hundreds of times, still smells like musk. At the door, as the doors to the princess room open, my fellow castmates and I are greeted with literal oohs and ahs. I wasn't prepared to do 1,000 squats today, nor was I ready for the oblivious mother who plops her baby onto my lap despite the full diaper leaking brown sludge from the sides, who then insists on taking photo after photo. And I am certainly not ready for the father who leans in and asks if I'm into hairy guys. Let's just say. I guess that's her.
I suppose so. Yeah.
The author playing Belle from Beauty and the Beast, courtesy of Michaela Brianna. So I guess that's who wrote this. Is there a... Yeah, Michaela Brianna. I guess that's her name. The Underground is a network of tunnels that serves as a shortcut to anywhere in the park. Performers use it to prevent guests from seeing duplicate characters roaming the parks, which would most certainly destroy the illusion that the company is working so hard to keep intact. Because of the sour-smelling sewage running through the pipes overhead, I'm forced to play a perennial game of Dodge the Drips. Oh! Disney also offers a cafeteria with various chain restaurants, an on-site gas station, firehouse, and medical clinic. To help preserve the magic of Disney, it said no one has ever been declared dead on park property, but I've heard several people have been decapitated. Tell me how that one works. It's difficult to know what's real and what's not in a world of make-believe, but I've heard plenty more gruesome things that have happened in the park. I was told a Tigger was literally run over during a parade, and someone else claimed that a Lion King monkey snapped his neck attempting a forward roll in rehearsal. There's a rumor that Space Mountain has claimed more than its fair share of riders. I don't know if that's true, but Splash Mountain was once shut down because a guest thought it would be a good idea to hop out of his boat in the middle of the ride. Long story short, the logs kept moving and the unsuspecting man was crushed as he tried to cross the human-made river. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay, I think that incident, last incident, I believe occurred at Disneyland, and then it was a Pluto, not a Tigger, but okay.
Man, this girl better not have any kind of NDA because she will be so sued.
Absolutely.
By spring, I've been moved to the sunrise shift. That means I'm part of the backstage tours, a chance for guests who have paid an obscene amount of money to become disenchanted. I pass by my dressing room and I've never felt more like a zoo animal. Nobody asks me questions. Maybe they've been told not to interact with us, and instead I hear, "Look at her wig." I had no idea she looked like that in real life. Take pictures of those shoes. Oh, right. No cameras allowed. Sorry. Wow. How much do you think those dresses cost to make? Someone needs coffee. For the next year and a half, the luster continues to fade. I wake up, drag myself out of bed, park in the cast lot, ride the bus behind the gates, run down the tunnel, clock in late, get another warning, grab my costume, do my makeup, walk to my assigned area, listen to hype music while awaiting start time, then walk onto set feeling like a baddie. Smile, squat down for kids, pictures, squat, 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 smile, see 200 guests per set, clear the room, sigh as all smiles flatline, walk off set, change into break room attire, watch Disney films on the couch, eat Subway, nap, fix makeup, redress, repeat 4 times with each interval lasting 45 to 85 minutes. I'm allowed to go to the parks during my breaks to watch parades, get ice cream, ride coasters, or shop the gift stores, but I never feel the desire to abandon my bubble, not even when auditions for Disney Tokyo and Paris are announced. This is a job after all. When work is done, I leave, pick up hibachi, and look forward to being home in my pajamas. Still, I make lifelong friends and we take Disney cruises together, dance our way through confetti and vodka in Florida clubs where our glitter-covered faces seem right at home. One day at the end of my second year, I'm playing Fawn, a rough-and-tumble tomboy fairy who could talk to animals. I climb plastic trees that overlook painted sunsets until I reach popcorn ceilings, which seem to stare back at me and say, "Grow up." But here in Neverland, I don't have to. We have a meet and greet with a Make-A-Wish child in the first hour. After being dressed up by fairy godmothers, she's wheeled in and we surround her with gentle coos. They shut off the timer hidden in the upper right-hand corner of the room. It usually serves as a strict guest counter to make sure we hit our numbers. For now, however, it's dark. Well, that's good at least that they're turning the counter off for the Make-A-Wish kids. We take our time asking her questions about her interests and dreams. We compliment her sparkling shoes and the Mickey ears perched atop her radiation scars until it's time to say goodbye. She's on her way to the real Neverland, so we huddle together as our wings tremble with the emotions we've been holding back. Oh my goodness. We typically meet with over 1,000 people per day. We are not told to hug children for as long as they want because we have a line to get through and quotas to meet. So we cherish moments like this when time slows down and we're reminded of why we are here. It's our duty to honor and bring magic to the lives of both children and adults. Some days it's easy to shrug off or make light of this mission. On other days, an encounter with someone like this little girl settles like wet concrete in my gut, and I have a hard time recovering from how unfair life feels. Unfortunately, I have to get back to work, and our customers don't want to see a devastated fairy. So if she's playing this fairy character, that means this was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Which is probably why she feels comfortable to actually go forward with this now.
So I can't see any way to rise up the ranks at Disney World unless I moved into management, which I don't want to do. Every day I feel more trapped beneath the wigs and pinned down by the costumes. The feeling that I'm suffocating behind the grinning masks is more constant. My panic attacks become too frequent and difficult to control, but I don't want to take the anxiety medication I'm offered. I realize it's time for me to move on. On my last day, Peter Pan is a special guest in our Pixie Hollow. No one knows that Peter is my favorite representation of dreams, imagination, and eternal possibilities. As the room closes and the secret set walls open to return us to human life, I pause because I realize what these last few steps mean. As if it has all suddenly become real, Peter reaches out his hand to me. All it takes is faith and trust, he says, as we skip out one last time, and I almost believe him. I guess she was... Wait, the author... with her husband, Wright, and friend at Disney on Halloween. Okay, so they're just guests. Disney's economy has rarely suffered because there will always be people who seek safety and nostalgia. Visitors can interact with or even become the characters they admire, remember what it feels like to believe in happy endings, and live vicariously through the joy of their children. I worked at Disney for 3 years, and I didn't learn a thing about myself. Disney is like high school. It solidified my identity through clicks, but did not expand it. Being a character is not all it's cracked up to be, and making magic is not the same as experiencing it. These days, I see Disney as a glittering pink castle placed atop a stagnant Florida marsh. You can dress it up all you want, but at the end of the day, it's still hot, crowded, and overrated. The fantasy only works when it's carefully maintained, and someone always has to be backstage or sweating inside a costume to hold the illusion together. If you're headed there tomorrow, go. Let yourself believe in magic, take pictures, cry at the fireworks. Hold your child's hand a little longer than you normally might. Don't listen to me. I never loved Disney to begin with, so I couldn't fall out of love with it when I left. I still enjoy watching my husband, who is new to the wonderful world of Disney, explore the parks. I still find myself talking like Belle when I'm on a professional call, and Fawn will always be a part of me. I watch most of the Disney films because as intended, they bring me comfort and inspiration. Knowing what I know now has not ruined Disney for me. I see it as I always did, a theme park designed for entertainment and escapism. I'm disappointed that I didn't find anything magical while I worked there, but I guess that's the point. There's no real magic behind the curtain, only what we create in front of it. Says Michelle Branagh is an author, CEO, founder of Berry Patch Books and the Healing Arts LLC, as well as an executive producer, podcast host, clinical counselor, and expressive arts therapist. She holds 5 university degrees in creative writing and psychology. This essay is part of a memoir told in vignettes. This is pretty crazy, Vash.
Interesting stuff. I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've ever heard, for sure. I mean, it's in terms of princes and princesses hooking up and getting together, that's definitely a thing. There's no question about that. And there have been guests who enjoy their time with these characters, maybe a little bit too much. There's no question about that.
Well, it sounds like some of them were enjoying it a little too much.
Right. And so, I mean, it's the life as a character is really, really interesting. We've actually heard recently, celebrity in Hollywood, actually, in major movies, actually talked about how she got her start actually at Disneyland as a character, which is actually common practice. This is why you see maybe a wider variety of characters at Disneyland. Just because of the talent pool that's available to you in this area, that being Hollywood and so forth, right? And a lot of people want to get their starts and all of that. It's a really interesting employ. I could definitely see why she believes that there's no magic, especially if she didn't necessarily start out as a fan to begin with. But it's not all rainbows and sunshine, but beyond the berm, right there. There are some things that happen. There have definitely been high-profile incidents involving cast and performers and so forth. Unfortunately, some tragedies as well. But look, I mean, it's quite interesting, illuminating also, especially around this time, because like the Evil Queen, for example, right, the one that was unfortunately unceremoniously let go by Disney recently came forward about her experiences and so forth. So you do have some people who have fondness, who are willing to speak out, and at least in some regards, at least in this case, disclosing a lot more than maybe the company would like to have happen.
I read this book once called Cast Member Confidential. Disneyfied memoir. This was kind of a similar thing. It was like an entire book about like what it's like to be a character. This guy starts as a photographer. I don't know if I fully believe all the things that he says in this book. He does the whole other thing about how they say no one's ever been pronounced dead on Disney property, but that we all know that's not true. Yeah, so I think that's just kind of like a thing at this point. But it's just strange, dude. Like, it's really, really strange. Because he talks about a thing where, like, I feel like we would have heard about it if it happened. There's a story that he tells where he's photographing the parade, and it's the Tarzan parade at the time. And a kid literally falls off, like, was standing on top of the bridge in Frontierland and falls into the rivers of America. And he said somebody, like, runs past him and jumps into the water, and it's Tarzan from the parade float.
Oh,
and the guy playing Tarzan gets the kid out of the water and brings the kid back to the parents and goes, "Keep boys safe. Children, greatest treasure." And then gets immediately fired. But like, I'm like, there's no way that happened. But then again, maybe in the years before social media, that's a thing that happened that we just don't hear about. I don't know.
Well, there is a distinct possibility, right? I mean, there was a number of incidents occurring with the forefront of the social media era that were really bizarre. Like, for example, we've all heard of the Gaston incident, right? In which, you know, the Gaston that everybody seemed to enjoy on social media was actually let go initially because he didn't necessarily conform to the other Gastons and how they would act and so forth. And they would actually put those other Gastons in precarious positions based on the social media buzz that one Gaston was actually having. The Disney company handles those things differently now because of the onset of the social media era. So it's very interesting, the stories that you hear. And sometimes you have to take them with a grain of salt, obviously. But I've heard some wild things, and I've heard them so frequently that to believe that at least some of them is.
I mean, I have heard that the princesses are kind of like the plastics of, you know, the Disney high school. You're right, like they're like the popular kids. So you know, I believe a lot of it, but I don't know, man. So guys, there you go. It might not be all sunshine and pixie dust when you are a Disney princess.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.